What if I told you that having bigger deer and healthier deer doesn't start in the woods, but in a bucket? Creating great deer feed can take years of testing, research, and fine-tuning. Today, I'm taking you on a journey inside the process of making the next generation of whitetail nutrition, from the very first idea to the moment that it hits the feeder. Let's dive in. I've been developing deer products for the last 21 years. It's been an amazing journey. And there's always been one thing that I've started every product that has gone to market, and that's a hunter's frustration. All products, all hunting products, all feeds, all formulas that are created start with a pain point. Where are we frustrated? What do we need in the woods? What are our hangups? How do I get it there? And how do I get out? The pain point and the frustration of hunters in the field or leading up to the field is always the starting point of how we formulate a new product. Sometimes guys really do have a desire to have more nutrition in what they feed their deer, but simply what they have access to is very low quality nutrition. Other times it's just the mode of getting it to your farm. And another variable is cost. Deer consume a lot. What you don't think about sometimes is the fact that deer really eat all day, every day. So cost can quickly start adding up for a guy who wants to make a difference on his farm. Now, cutting costs doesn't always get you the result. So formulating things often lead to the balance of really good ingredients with higher nutritional elements, yet cost still being a factor to consider. Another consideration we make, what is the actual physical makeup of the product? Sometimes guys just want a liquid or a powder. They don't want to use a feed year-round. They don't have feeders in place, nor do they plan on putting any feeders. So we always take into consideration, what is the hunter wanting to achieve on his farm? And then ultimately, what's the price point that product needs to land at? And another thing that a lot of people don't think about is, how is that product manufactured? The fact of the matter is, I can create the greatest product ever, but if it's very hard to make, that could ultimately keep it from getting into your hands to make a difference on your farm. You know, I love saying the idea that if it doesn't fix a real problem in the field, it doesn't belong in a bag. So we're always gonna take that into consideration when making products. How does it help you? How does it solve a problem you have? You know, the reality is every great product starts with the hunter's frustration. And we don't try to figure out what the frustration is. We listen to it. And that's how we mainly focus on the next product we want to bring to market, is what are your needs and what are your problems and how can we help create solutions? But in discovering the problems and the frustrations, we still have to take into consideration nutrition. We still want products to solve problems, but have value to the animal so that ultimately you have bigger and better, healthier deer on your farm to chase year in and year out. So nutrition is a key variable to how we formulate products. If you don't understand biology, it's hard to create a solution. And it's not just about what deer like, it's about what they need. And that's why oftentimes we avoid ingredients that they love, that they eat, but aren't necessarily nutritional for them, or are not going to create a positive impact in them. There are a lot of grains out there that are cheap and that deer love, but the amount of energy that they burn to process and digest those grains are not worth what they get in return. We really like to try to avoid those as much as possible. There are a lot of things that you could put out any time of year that deer like and that deer will eat. But the reality is deer nutrition is seasonal, it's strategic, and it's science-based. Otherwise, it's not truly effective to maximizing the genetic potential of that animal. There's always a process, there's always a timeline, and there's always a rush. But we don't get in a hurry. We formulate, we test, we formulate, we test, we change until we get it right, until all those elements are addressed: the pain, the frustration, how the product's developed, how it's packaged, ultimately what it's gonna cost, and how it will help you have more success year in and year out. As we evaluate those problems, there's no one product that solves all of them. So that's the beauty in product development. I formulate until it solves real-world problems. And that often leads to a great product for you to have and you to use on your farm during the off-season, leading up to the season, and during season that's going to create an amazing, memorable experience for years to come. Every product I develop has one goal: results that you can see in the field. We make products that we ourselves are proud to use and know that will work. It always gets me every time we're bringing a product to the finish line. When I pour it out, the smell, seeing how the deer react to it on camera, and ultimately seeing that finished product still just fills me up. And that's what keeps me going year after year. I'm 20 years into this, and I still love developing products like I did in the beginning. It's always been fascinating to see the full circle of manufacturing, ideas, products, teams, etc. And it's no different in us developing products. I love the process from start to finish. I love hearing your pain points. I love hearing your frustrations, because I know based off of my time doing this, there's a solution, and I can't wait to get to work on creating it for you. If you've made it this far in the video, I can't tell you how appreciative I am. And if you're enjoying it, check out one of the other videos here or here.